I need to be challenged. And I've faced a lot of guys that promised a lot before, haven't delivered anything in the ring. So we'll see what is inside of Tyson Fury.
I ain't going over there to jib-jab around. If I can get him out of there in round one, I will. The age factor is the key to victory.
Wladimir, do you feel disrespected by Tyson's antics, to say the least?
Well, this young man definitely needs a lesson of behavior, which I'm be happy to give him. I've done it a couple of times. I'm an experienced therapist, and I've seen a lot of things. But I've seen also, I see also something new and different in Tyson. So that means adjustment in my therapy. But I'm sure it's not a desperate thing. I'm gonna make him a better person.
You say he's better suited to the circus. Is that a joke? Is that just to do what he's trying to do to you, which is trying to get in his skin?
There've been a lot of. It's not about getting in skin. I'm not playing games. I'm serious about business because I've been involved for a long time. And you said you're gonna retire after this fight when you lose it. So I have a job for you.
What's that?
I have good friends at Cirque du Soleil, and I think you're gonna enjoy it and you're gonna really love it. What you're doing.
Hey man, I'm gonna make it in LA next.
It's in your gene, yeah, absolutely.
Tyson, are you being disrespectful, or are you just telling him how you see it?
I'm just telling the truth, to be honest. The way I see it, Wladimir says he's a therapist. But a therapist understands his game. He understands the field he's in. He understands what he teaches. I don't believe that you understand heavyweight boxing properly. I don't believe you can teach me anything. So he can pretend to say all this therapy stuff. You know, it worked against a man with no name, who I don't say his name because he was no good and he was too small, but it ain't gonna work against me. Because at the end of the day, I ain't that guy with no name.
You're talking about David Haye, is he right? Is your knowledge of the sport, the history of the sport,
what he's
correct?
talking about, David Haye?
Yeah, I'm talking about that guy.
Okay.
You said the same stuff about him. I will
There's
teach him a
lot of
lesson. I will
parallels
teach
between
him.
you two.
I will teach him
A
how to
lot.
be a proper person. I will be a therapist. When I say stuff in press conferences and two fighters, I don't pre-rehearse it and I don't repeat the same stuff over and over again. But it happened to be that it was on Sky, the last press conference he had with David Haye, and he said the same stuff again to me.
I get that, but you know, this guy, he speaks several different languages.
He may do that. He may speak 57 different languages. That is not an impressive thing to me. I think Wladimir is a very good athlete, for one. He has achieved a lot in the sport doing what he's doing, the jab, the 1-2, back and forward in straight lines, good at going back and then turning to the right. All good, all well and good. But that ain't going to be enough to beat a fighter like me.
That's an interesting statement. So I hope that you watched enough and a lot of Corey Sanders' fight. You watched, I hope, enough and a lot Brewster fight, Lamont Brewster's fight, my first fight, as a motivation. So I hope it's gonna give you a good feeling of confidence in what I do. And you know what? I think I'm not gonna talk actually bad about your boxing skills. For a tall man, you move well. So you're a good counterpuncher. There's a lot of good stuff that you're doing. There's a lot of stuff that you can't just do. You can't, as we're all limited, and everyone is going to use his stronger sides in the ring during the fight. And I've faced a lot of guys that promised a lot before, haven't delivered anything in the ring. The other guys hasn't promised anything, they were quiet, but they were very dangerous in the ring.
Yeah.
So we'll see what is inside of Tyson Fury.
You will see.
What is gonna come.
Just going back a little bit there, don't want to talk over it or anything, but yeah, your losses to Sanders, Purity, Brewster.
Have you studied them?
Excuse me, I'm talking.
Oh, go on.
He's gonna hit you, just be careful.
I'm not going to hit anybody.
As a referee. Are you going to go after
good
referee?
job. Good job. Just listen.
Are you
I
gonna go
I
after
listen to
referee?
you. Show some
Okay.
respect and listen to me. I'm not talking
Go
over
ahead.
you. There's no violence. This is an adult conversation between two fighters.
Okay, go.
You asked me the question about studying your losses. No, I haven't been studying your losses because them losses were a long time ago, and you've matured as a fighter since them losses. In the beginning, you were trading and throwing combinations. I can accuse you of throwing 3 punches and that's your thing, but that's a safety thing. We all know if you throw 4, 5, 6 combinations, you're open to the counter to get hit over the top again, and nobody wants to get hit and hurt off heavyweights. You have learned and perfected to stand tall, lean back off the jab, not leaning forward, not fighting when the other person's trying to fight. Whoever looked at them last losses, like the guy who, I don't mention his name, who didn't have any knowledge on boxing, he may have looked at them losses and took confidence from them, thinking, if they can land that shot, then I can, because I'm quick, yeah? But I ain't going to make the same mistake as they've made. I ain't looking for that. I ain't looking for that one punch that's going to knock you out. I'm looking for an accumulation of shots. Now, I don't mind giving my game plan away, because no matter how many fights you watch in the past, there'll always be something different every time. Where I've always been blessed is my ability to move faster than a normal sized man who's my same size. And you're pretty similar size to me, there's not much in it. Pretty similar weight, there's not much in it. But what I have is the agility and the speed over you. No matter what you think, until you're in there, you can watch me on TV as much as you want, but you can ask the fighters I've sparred. The speed of me and the movement is unnatural for a man of my size, and that's where you're going to come unstuck.
Wladimir, do you, listening to Tyson talk, it sounds like he studied you from point A to point B. Does that make you respect him a little bit more, fear the fight a little more?
I always respected my opponents. I need to be challenged.
Good.
If I'm challenged, I can bring more to the table. If I'm not challenged, I'm bored. It's just 1, 2 is enough.
This is a different man from the press conference. Articulate.
This is different, absolutely.
Detailed.
Absolutely.
Well, there's a time for play and there's a time for sense and seriousness. Listen, I'm an entertainer as well as a sportsman and an athlete. I'm not a stupid man. I'm quite clever when it comes to boxing, especially my own division. I know what's going on and who's who, from heavyweights who's had 2 professional fights to somebody who's had 102. I know everybody who's coming up. I have to do, it's my job. But there's a time for play and there's a time for being serious. Now, entertainment is what you saw at the press conference. People love that. People love to see that side of me. They love to see me act up. They love to be entertained. If I don't do it, who else does it? Who else does this entertainment in boxing? But now, it's a time to be serious, and I'm sat around the table, I'm looking at Vlad, he's looking at me. He knows I'm a serious person, and I know he's a serious operator. There's no disrespect, because I'll bring the best out of you, and you'll bring the best out of me.
Tyson, tell me the
And
story.
therefore, when the 2 best come out, the fans are in for a real treat.
Tell me the story of the sauna
He
at the
knows.
training camp. Well, tell me.
At Matty's training camp, we're in the sauna. About 10 guys in the sauna, and it came down to me and Vlad in the sauna. Do you remember this, Wladimir, at all? No?
I mean, I remember the sauna and I remember the sparring partners.
In the Stangleworks Hotel.
Yeah.
It was all in the sauna, a few guys in there.
Yeah.
Everyone starts popping off around us. And it gets down to him, and I'm over the other side. And I'm thinking, I've only had 12, 13 fights. But still in my mind, I was mentally in a competition with him. In the mind.
Was it a competition?
Right, he can say what he wants, he can deny it, whatever, yeah? But I was
Honestly,
prepared.
don't know what you're talking about.
I was prepared. I stayed in for like 40 minutes.
I believe, I don't know, I mean, I don't remember exactly that moment, but I believe im Steingart in the sauna, people are walking in naked. So...
Who got out first?
He did. He got out first.
And what did you think at that time?
Fought mental victory.
That you built in your own world.
Yes.
That didn't exist.
We both know it did exist.
I don't know what you're talking about,
Well,
seriously.
you can say you don't know what I'm talking about,
But I'm seriously
I know,
saying it.
and you know it did exist.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. The mind's a funny thing. It can take you to the moon and back.
You will collect experience.
You can be in a room, a
gonna be good
four-walled
for you.
room, but yeah, my mind can be anywhere I wanted it to be. The mind is the key to unlocking everything.
Mind is the strongest thing.
Wladimir,
Exactly.
you say...
And I'm
It's-
concrete. When it comes to mind games, concrete.
Okay, I'm looking forward to
Can't
it.
be beaten.
I'm looking forward to it.
You ain't going to beat me.
I honestly think
Definitely not.
this fight you're taking too early.
He's a massive jump up from the level of opponents you've boxed so far.
I wouldn't say so, no. He's a man with a pair of boxing gloves on. They all want to win. They've all got confidence. And they all say a lot. They all talk a good game. Just like his opponents in the past. They've all talked a good game. But unlike me, them guys didn't believe they could really do it.
But 10 years on, he's still unbeaten.
Don't worry about that. I'm finishing my conversation. Them guys who you fought in the past, they talked a lot. They had a lot to say. But they didn't have the inner belief in the mind, in the heart, in the body. Name me one of your opponents that I couldn't beat. Who'd land a glove on me? None of them.
David Hay
David
would
Hay.
have knocked you out.
Sounds like it's a dirty word at this
Have a day
table.
off, will you? He fought you, didn't he?
Hay would
He
have
fought
knocked
you and
out.
tortured you, yeah? He wouldn't even fight me twice. He was getting a lot of money.
I don't know what it was going
Excuse
on,
me,
but
I'm talking. He was
Yes,
offered a
you're
lot of
talking.
money, yeah, to fight. Biggest fight in this country. Probably a bigger fight than you, actually. But still, he wouldn't fight because he saw something that he didn't like. And the same thing he saw, you're seeing. Just turn up to the fight. That's all I'm asking you. Turn up and fight. That's all I want you to do.
I will.
I've got to ease off of you now because I remember when I put it on David A. Strong and I come on all the heavy talking and serious, he pulled out twice. So are you going to do the same thing? So I better back off of Wladimir Klitschko before he gets the jitters and he doesn't turn up like his comrade David Hay,
You
his
know-
greatest
you know what?
victory, the man who never had the stones to fight the Furious One twice, the man who had to retire from boxing before facing me. And that's your greatest victory. You're in trouble, my friend.
He really believes he can stop a moving train with his head.
The guy's a good-looking guy, clean-shaven, a nice hairdo, snappy suit.
Which kind of animal are you?
Anyone you
Huh?
want. A
Which
tiger, a bear,
A
a,
mouse?
chicken, a
Tyson.
mouse, a
Tyson.
pheasant,
Tyson.
whatever you like.
Do you look at him and think he's a better fighter than David Hay?
Now looking at him and you know, like in a school, the bully. So that's the bully. The bully inside is very weak, very weak. He's bullying, but inside is very insecure and very weak.
I think
And
you're a
it's-
control
and it's
freak.
interesting.
And when you can't
It's
control the
interesting to
person
observe
that you're fighting,
and
you don't
see.
like it. You're insecure and you don't like the way I'm carrying on because I'm very unpredictable and you don't know what's going to happen.
You
And
know
that- that
what? You don't
upsets
know
you.
even yourself. I know it. You don't
Yeah.
know even yourself.
So how can you prepare for that?
So I'm telling you.
You can't prepare.
You know what's interesting? There's
called
always a
mind
plan.
boggle.
A plan.
Mind
A,
boggle.
B, C, D, E, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
You have ish plan. But
You
you
can
even
have
don't
A,
know
B, C,
yourself
D,
when you're
Es,
gonna
but you got to have the
decide
ability
which
to back
plan
it
you're
up.
gonna pick.
Listen, I can change the game plan at any time. I don't know if I'm going to come in southpaw or orthodox.
Are you
whatever
considering
like.
yourself as the greatest full time?
Listen, we'll find out, won't we? Because when I flatten you, they're going to
Are
put me
you-
right up there,
Are
aren't
you
they?
considering? No, you're very high opinion about yourself.
Yes. I
Very
believe I
high.
can beat any man on the planet. Never mind you.
Vladimir, you say
I think Tyson. That's what we have an issue here, psychological side. He really believes he can stop a moving train with his head.
I don't. And I don't need to,
You
I,
really-
I don't need to
you
believe
really-
I can stop
you
a
really
train.
believe.
The only thing I need to believe is I can stop you. I'm a natural talent. A natural idiot
would
sometimes
you beat
as
his
well.
brother? Would you beat his brother?
Beat both of them. Both of them.
At the same night.
Give me a couple of weeks. I'll prepare for both of you guys. No problem. And I'm sure once I've flattened you, I think your brother might come out of retirement and want to fight me as well. So, who knows where this journey takes me? But the first stop
No way.
is Dusseldorf, and Wladimir Klitschko is going to sleep. He can be the champion. He can be the one who people want to be, one that people look up to, the role model. The guy's a good-looking guy, clean-shaven, a nice hairdo, snappy suit. Total opposite the Richter scale is this. Hairy face, ugly, bald head. Happening. But the difference is, he's been made to look like that. Everything he does is manufactured. Everything I do is natural, off the cuff. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody sticks a key in my back and turns it. I do myself. I wake up in the morning and I do what I want to do myself because I'm my own man. And when it comes to on that night, I think their world will change because they'll have the most charismatic, the most colourful, the most controversial champion since Muhammad Ali. And that's what the world's been waiting for. And if I ain't the man to fill them boots, they'll be waiting a hell of a long time more, because all I see is robots, people being turned and told what to say. So the world needs me to change the landscape of the division, not a yes man for nobody.
Wladimir, that's a big statement he's making.
I'm so worried. I need to get back to the gym.
Just answer me this one question before you leave. What will you say if I do beat you by knockout?
There's no
Will
if.
you will
There's
you
no,
say
there's no
will you
if,
say it was a
when,
fluke
or anyhow.
what would you say then?
Just I want
Would
to tell
you-
you, don't miss the press conference.
Would
after
you
the
say
fight.
good luck? Would you say well done? Or would you be bitter about it?
After the fight, don't miss the press
Oh,
conference.
I'll tell you one thing. I want you to turn up to the press conference and say all this after I've beaten you. Okay?
I'm telling you, you better don't miss the press conference.
Oh, I
after the
don't.
fight.
I never miss press
Okay,
conferences.
very good. Don't
No
miss
chance.
the press conference.
No chance. Listen, no excuses.
Good. And
Fully
then,
prepared.
yes,
Just
absolutely.
expect a wild animal. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Tyson,
All right. Looking
This-
forward to it.
And
Wild animal.
I hope for your sake,
Which kind of animal are you?
anyone you
Huh?
want. A
Which one?
tiger, a bear,
A
a,
mouse?
chicken, a
Tyson,
mouse,
Tyson,
pheasant,
Tyson.
whatever you like.
this will be the biggest fight week in your life in Germany.
Yeah.
I see no fear. I see no angst. I see everything calculated here. Even the antics at the press conference. Are they over now, or is there something more to come fight week?
We don't know. There's much more to come from me. I've got a lot of stuff up my sleeve. Not that you can see cameras, but I have. Wladimir, don't know what he's in for. I can just say that. He really doesn't know.
Okay.
Just like I ain't going to go on your fights in the past, doesn't mean anything, it's history, past. Don't go on my fights, expect something new. That's
Okay.
a promise.
You got it.
Fight night comes. You're walking in. 55,000 people there, all focused on you. It's the biggest night of your life.
Yeah.
You hear them cheering you, you hear them booing you, you hear whatever you're hearing. What are you going to think? What's going through your mind at that time?
I think Wladimir thinks what will be going through my mind is my heart will be beating, I'll be nervous, I'll be looking at the crowd.
Tell us what's going
Big
through.
occasion. Wow.
But what will it be?
It'll be nothing. I don't even see the crowd. I don't even see anything. Tunnel vision, done knocking him out, that's it. I like looking through a looking glass at the future. And I see Wladimir on his back looking up at me. I ain't a fool. I ain't going over there to jib-jab around and make it last a bit. If I can get him out of there in round one, I will. And it's only a man standing in between me and the rest of my future. He's standing in front of my salvation, everything. Do I let it slip or do I take it with both hands? No, I believe you've got immense power in right hand and left hook. But the key factor here for me is your age. And it's my ability and my
You
opportunity
can't judge my age.
to make your
You're
age
not there
catch up with you.
yet. You have
No
no clue
matter
what you're
how
talking about.
hard you train, how good you feel, you
You
can't
have
you
no
can't
clue
compete
what
with
you're
young
talking about.
athletes. And
You have
definitely
a
not.
lot, no clue. That's what I'm saying.
I will make you feel
You
your
will
age
get-
after
you will get
5
better
rounds.
with time, with
The
age.
legs will start going
Hey,
first.
boys, you know what? I'm surprised this is very different from the press conference. Why is it so cool, calculated and calm from both fights from you, Wladimir?
I'm not acting differently. Tyson acts differently. He's bipolar.
Are you bipolar,
He acts-
or was
he
that all
acts
an act at the press
differently all the
conference?
time. I'm always the same.
I may be a little bit bipolar, you know, who knows? But he knows I'm serious. He knows what I'm talking about sense. And just remember, the age factor is the key to victory. That even rhymes.
Yeah.
The age factor is the key to victory.
Do you know actually that there are some 55-year-olds, very young, inside and outside, with their mind and their body, and there's some 25-year-olds. They're old, with a big belly. They walk like old men. They have like old mentality. So age, in reality, is just really a number. It's a saying, but I really truly believe in it.
Yeah.
But that's your judgment.
Age is just a number.
That's your judgment.
The mind, if the
And,
mind is strong,
You know,
you
this old
think
man
that you can do it.
that
But
sits
the mind-
across of you
there's
as
a,
you
there's a
told
saying
me,
that old people say, the mind is
you
willing,
gotta
but the
learn
body is
lesson.
not.
You gotta learn the lesson.
You're going to learn a lesson. You're going to learn what a young man does to an old man. And I don't have to be the greatest fighter on earth
Boys.
to beat an old man.
You don't understand what you're talking
Boys.
about.
I
but
do understand.
That's your right.
At 40 years old nearly,
Boys, I'm the
Yes.
oldest one here.
Yes. You're
decline.
So let's say this one.
You answer the question
David
then.
Hay.
You're
never shook
old.
your hand.
You have grey hair. You're
Don't
old.
stop picking them. I have no hair.
Hey, Johnny,
David
Oh,
Hay
no.
never
Hey,
shook
Johnny.
your hand. Will Tyson Fury.
just before we go,
I
right?
would say so.
You used to
Let's
be a
see.
fighter, a champion, didn't you? Yeah? Could you do at 40, right, what you could do at 25? Answer truthfully.
I can still do it now.
No. Definitely
Hey.
not.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Definitely not.
He's like, you know, in
Answer
La-
truthfully,
La- La-
Johnny.
La La
It's
Land.
been a pleasure.
Answer the question.
Now let me
wish you good
see.
luck.
Will you shake the hand?
Yeah, I'll shake his hand because I'm not an idiot, you know. David A is what he is. He's a circus clown. He's a fool. You know, the man's an idiot. I ain't no fool. I know what I'm talking about in boxing. And I definitely know what I'm talking about when it comes to young and old. You ain't old like grandpa age, but the mind is willing, but the body won't follow. Remember that. The mind is willing, the body won't follow. No matter how good you feel in training, training ain't fighting.
What is he talking about?
Training ain't fighting. And when you're pushed, legs go, gas go, 5 rounds, holding on. Out of there, 6, 7.
Boys,
Night.
boys, there's the gloves are off.
Night.
I'll see you in Dusseldorf.
Good job.
Boom!
Pow! Thank you, boys.